Am I the asshole for telling my stepdaughter that she's not allowed to hang out with my children's friends? For the record, I've never used the your kid versus my kid in real life. They're all my children. I'm only using those terms for the sake of the post. I've been married to my husband for 2 years, together for 4. My stepdaughter is 11. My biological kids are a 16-year-old boy, a 5-year-old boy, and an 8-month-old girl. Just to kick it off, I do want to say that my stepdaughter is very socialized. She does a ton of extra after-school activities, dance, karate, gymnastics, Girl Scouts, things like that. And we do one-on-one time with each child once a week. For the past year or so, my stepdaughter has been a bit of a bully and attention-seeking. We figured maybe it was the news of the baby. We enrolled her in therapy once the behavior started, as well as to make sure to give her some extra love and attention. But it hasn't seemed to have much of a difference. If anything, the behavior is getting worse. So if you have any pointers, I'm open to suggestions. It started with my youngest boy. Whenever he would have friends over, my stepdaughter started attempting to get the kids away from my son, and it always ended with her and my son's friends ganging up on him, telling him that they didn't want to hang out with him because he's stupid, slow, etc. She then would lie to us and say no, his friends were saying that and I was defending him, when we know that's not the truth because we heard her. That's not okay. This is not okay at all. She isn't being very appropriate either. She'll ask my son's 5 and 6-year-old friends if they have a crush on her all the time, and then she acts as if it's the end of the world if they say no. She'll say things like, I know you do. Who wouldn't if they say yes? She plays it up. That's not okay. That is not okay. Through multiple conversations with my stepdaughter that led nowhere, I started hovering and basically playing mediator because she refused to stop. This was a conversation had after she told his girl best friend, a 6-year-old girl, that my son wets the bed and that she shouldn't hang out with my son anymore because he's gross. She then proceeded to go around my son saying, ha ha, she's my best friend now, or it's not my fault that she likes me more than you, and then rub it in his face. This little girl is not okay. And you said that you guys have her in therapy for this. This is not okay. Oh, hell no. She claims that she likes hanging out with younger kids because she's their elder and they have to listen to her. That is not okay. That's not okay. It's a power thing and that is not okay. She's 11. This is not, no, this needs to be nipped in the bud ASAP. Hell no, absolutely not. Fast forward to a few months later, my oldest son gets a girlfriend and she starts hanging around the house. My stepdaughter does everything in her power to stomp on their privacy. And when my son's girlfriend says she doesn't want to hang out with her, my stepdaughter loses it and starts whining, stomping her feet, slamming doors, clinging to her arm, and dragging her around. My son's girlfriend is a very kind girl and always feels bad and ends up hanging out with her, just to have my stepdaughter turn and make faces at my son and say things like, she likes me more than you. She even told his girlfriend that she should break up with him and just be her friend so she doesn't have to deal with my son hanging around anymore. This girl is going to end up a homewrecker. Like, I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, don't wish something like that on a child. She's going to end up a homewrecker. She's hyper jealous when it comes to any relationship that has nothing to do with her. And she feels like I have the right to bully people into telling me if they like me or not, and then getting upset if they tell me no. And then I have the right to turn around and rub it in someone's face that your girlfriend or your best friend fell for my tantrum. No, this girl is going to end up a fucking homewrecker because she's so obsessed and hyper fixated in being the center of attention in everybody's relationships. This is not okay. Several times her father and I have spoken to her about it. Several times her father and I have intervened while this is going on and put an end to it. And in those moments, she slams through my house as loudly as possible and makes sure that everyone knows that we're being unfair and picking favorites. Her friends are here at least once a week. You need to stop feeding into the shit. She wants attention. I would pretend she didn't exist unless it was something that she absolutely 100% needed. And I would tell everybody else, ignore her. We got a ghost in the house. That's why the cabinets and the doors and stuff is slamming. Don't worry about it. But I was a bit fed up this morning when my son was getting ready to go to a birthday party, the girl that I mentioned above. And when the girl's parents showed up, my stepdaughter runs downstairs and says, okay, I'm ready. I ask what's going on, and both her and the parents say The little girl decided she didn't want my son to go and wanted my stepdaughter to go instead. Hell no, take your little ass back the fuck upstairs and wash something. Because no, you don't get to go anywhere. You don't get to go anywhere. I know for a fact that my stepdaughter wielded this plan. I physically heard her telling the little girl to uninvite my son last week. I stepped in and I told my stepdaughter to cut it out. Once the other parent left without my son, I told my stepdaughter that she was not welcome near any of the boys' friends anymore because she's a bully and I'm over it. From this point forward, when the boys have friends over, she's going to either be going to her own friends' houses or to her grandparents. She absolutely loses it. She says that I'm being mean, that I'm angry at her for having so many friends, and that it's not her fault that they like her more. My husband is also pissed at me, thinking I'm pushing it too far. Am I the asshole? No, I truly don't think that you're pushing it too far, because you said that you guys have taken the necessary steps to try to figure out what the issue is. You put her in therapy. She's in extracurricular activities. Her own friends come over and hang out with her, but yet she's still hyper fixated being the center of attention when anybody come and goes in the house. That's not okay. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Your sons are entitled to being able to hang out with their fucking friends without their sister feeling like they have to hang out with her. They have to do what she wants them to do. And if they don't, she has the right to stomp around the fucking house and throw a goddamn fit. No, absolutely not. That shit is not okay. Your stepdaughter is showing predator fucking behavior. Why are you at 11 years old going to a group of 5-year-olds asking them, do you have a crush on me? And then when they say no, you want to throw a fucking fit. Absolutely not. That is predator behavior, and you have to protect everybody else that's in your house. Her throwing things and slamming stuff around the fucking house when she doesn't get her way, those are anger issues that are unresolved. Again, you've got to make sure that everyone else in the house is fucking safe. So we're going to remove her when the triggers to those situations come around. Because we're not going to stop our other kids from their friends coming over because she don't know how to fucking act. We're going to send her to her friend's house. Since you want to be so friendly with all your friends, go hang out with your fucking friends. Go hang out with grandma and grandpa for a little while because your brothers have friends coming over and you don't know how to act just yet. Just yet, you don't know how to act around people. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. To include something that may or may not be important, she loves her baby sister a great deal. But the only time she wants to hold her or play with her is when someone else goes to. So when my husband gets home from work and takes the baby, she all of a sudden wants her after not spending any time with her all day. Or if my mother comes here and holds the baby, she tries to take the baby away from her and says, my baby. She also tells everyone that she has the baby more than anyone and that she's practically the mom. It's all for seeking attention. My husband needs to get his shit together because none of this shit is fucking okay. So what the fuck would he do other than what you guys are already doing that's not fucking working? He's saying that you're pushing it too far. How much longer are you going to allow your 5-year-old to be tormented? He's wetting the bed. I can only fucking imagine why. It might be because he literally lives with his bully. He lives with his fucking bully. He don't have a moment of goddamn peace. I wonder why he's still wetting the bed. What the fuck does your husband suggest that you do? Because you taking her to therapy, it don't work. You talk to her all the time, it don't work. You step in and stop it, it still doesn't fucking work. You shut it the fuck down, and her response is, you can't punish me for having a whole lot of fucking friends. Like, it's not clicking up here. So what the fuck is your husband suggesting that you do?
Husband attacks in his sleep. I haven't slept in days. I'm 24 female and my husband is 24 male. We are happily married. We've been married a year, known each other since 2018, officially dated all 2022, and then married 2023. We have a history like a rom-com. I am very in love with this man. He's not abusive or anything. There's literally nothing wrong. I'm just at the end of my rope with this and I have no idea what to do. This is a vent, but I'm open to any advice. So my husband has always had trouble sleeping. He complains that he hardly ever has dreams. I'm talking 1 to 4 dreams per year. He also can talk, blink, and act like he's awake aside from actually getting up. This has made for some funny times as I'm a light sleeper. In the middle of the night, I'll ask him something and he'll say the most random and funniest things. He has no memory of this in the morning and we laugh about it. This is the actual issue though. He will also flail his arms and smack me in the face. He's a mechanic / gym rat. His arms are like meaty weights. It's not intentional. I once smacked him back in surprise and he literally laughed, then whined that it's raining too hard and turned over. He's not awake or aware of any of this. He'll apologize like crazy the next morning and do anything to make up for it. It hurts to see him so upset at something he can't control. This man has literally come home from work to take care of a spider for me. I know he doesn't mean to, but gosh dang it, I want to sleep without being attacked. All caps. We've tried separate sleeping, but I hate that. We're snugglers, and he will come to me in the middle of the night, or I will go to him. We joke about who will do it first. I just don't know what to do. This is the third night he's smacked me and then taken the blanket. I'm exhausted. I'm actually desperate for advice. The next plan is a straitjacket. Please help.
Oh, bless her. Okay, as a fellow, very, very, very light sleeper, I can understand her. Probably just like she's at her wit's end, right? She's
I'd
like,
be losing
what
it.
the heck do? I need sleep, but I love this man. In my head, I was like, obviously just different rooms. Like, no duh. But I mean, they've already tried that. I get the snuggling thing, but also again, as a fellow light sleeper, like if I'm snuggling with someone, it's all cute and fine. But then I'm like, okay, now I need you to not touch me while I sleep because I'm such a light sleeper. So
I'm the same way.
If she's that close to him, and he's like yanking this stuff and hitting her, either they need to like try a week of sleeping in separate rooms and really commit to it so that she can actually, like, she's at her wit's end. What are you going to continue to not sleep?
No.
For the sake of cuddling? Like, you've been with each other long enough where you're like going to be comfortable, hopefully, or, you know, cuddle and then go sleep. But I feel like they should put two beds together, have your own bedding.
Yes.
Put a pillow in between you I do that all the time
I
too. I put
know.
pillows in between me and whoever I'm next to.
That was my idea too. Like those, you know, those pregnancy pillows where they're like really big and long.
Yeah.
Just like have a divider.
Yeah. I feel like what's that marriage advice? It's like have separate bathrooms if you can afford it. And it's like something you're able to do if you're building your own home, two separate toilets or whatever. I feel the same about beds. It doesn't have to be two separate beds, but like two separate situations so that you're both covered.
Yeah.
But she's going to listen to this and be like, girl, I told you he's smacking me. He's like a long, meaty hand hitting me across the pregnancy pillow. I don't think you're the asshole, but I don't think anybody's an asshole in this situation. He can't help himself.
No.
And I can't imagine how he's waking up every morning like in anguish over the fact that he's hurting or keeping this, you know, his partner up at night. That sucks. But
I also can't imagine he feels rested the next day. Can you like imagine like sleeping with your eyes open?
I sleep like 5 to 6 hours a night, which is really bad. But if I'm sleeping in the same bed, I know it's not, I have my own sleep problems. See, so this is actually, I know you didn't even know that, but I relate. So if I'm sleeping next to somebody, that goes down to like 2 to 3 hours. It's really bad. So I feel her frustration, but I also feel her like, I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But I'm so frustrated. You just can't operate as a regular human being every day if you can't sleep. So girl, have your cuddles and then go to or just even like two beds in the, like have him sleep on a day bed and you're in the real bed or something. Try out not missing each other, but missing each other enough to be able to sleep.
I'm confused why there's no mention of like he's done a sleep study or like he's gonna do a sleep study, because I read this and I'm like, sleep study, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
He's got to go in there, get all the electrodes hooked up. He's got to see what's going on with his sleep.
Yeah, 100%.
Because maybe there's, you know, a little bit of a thing they could do.
There is some things that people can do for insomnia or sleep paralysis. I mean, I don't know what he has, but definitely something. I mean, if he's like literally hitting her now and thinking about like, I would put an oven mitt on in the middle of the night so it's like softens the blow or something. Like that sounds crazy, but I would be desperate to try everything too.
I think he might need a Snuggie. Like, have you seen those little baby sleepers where it's like because you don't want to like have blankets or things that can get loose on babies, and it's like a flying squirrel outfit and you just zip them up in it, but then they can't like.
Yeah, the sleep sacks.
That's what he needs.
My nephew, we put him in one too, and he's like,
it's like it is kind of a straight jacket.
It is a sleep jacket.
That's what he needs.
So I need advice. What do I do about the upcoming family dinner regarding my sisters? Brace yourselves, because this one is a little out there. So my sisters have been best friends forever. I'm talking best friends in childhood,
best friends during public school. My oldest sister, Kat, actually waited a year for my younger sister, Sherry, to finish high school so they could both go to college at the same time. So they go through college and end up meeting two guys that they would both marry shortly after. I'm talking like a month apart. Kat has a kid and Sherry has two. Anyways, they live in the same town and are still best friends. Sherry is a stay-at-home mom and Kat is an accountant. And both of their husbands work at an office position. Now, our family, both immediate and extended, love emails. We use them for various things, but especially to send pictures. And Sherry loves to send pictures of her kids through emails. And we all have a family group for mass emails specifically. Now on to where I need advice. Yesterday, Sherry sent out a mass email to the family group. The email was titled, "Great evening, can't wait to do it again." It had a folder attachment with pictures, and I'm not gonna lie, kids kind of bore me, so I ignored it. About 10 minutes later, I got a text from my cousin, who's in my same social group, that said, "Holy f***ing I asked him what, and he asked me if I looked at Sherry's email. I told him no, and he told me to go look. And when I tell you this was the shock of a lifetime, my heart nearly stopped. It turns out Kat and Sherry are swingers with their respective husbands, and they're also into group intimacy. They're also into pictures, like a lot of pictures. And I looked. I know, I messed up, but morbid fascination took over. They have threesomes with their husbands. They really just like all forms of intimacy. I will say it was incredibly graphic. So after the shock of all of this, I realized Sherry sent this to our entire family. We're having a family dinner on Saturday, and I've talked to no one except my cousin. And it has been deathly quiet among our family. And I really, really don't want to be there on Saturday. How do I handle this? What do I say to my sisters, my parents? Honestly, drinks are going to be heavily consumed this Saturday. Bye.
My boyfriend's sister is really obsessed with him. He's taking her on holiday, and I don't know how to convince him it is super weird. I have been dating my boyfriend Mike for just under 18 months. Our relationship has become really serious. We have even started to discuss things like marriage, children, etc. We moved from England to Wales about 6 months ago because I got a job opportunity that required us to relocate. He was able to convert to working from home, so has stayed employed by his old company. We now live about 70 miles away from our hometown. I'm kidding, I gotta stop. We now live about 70 miles away from our hometown. Because it's so far, we rarely visit home. Maybe once every 6 weeks or so. I've had commutes to work. My job was, I think, 80 miles away. I did it every day, and you can't see your family for 6 weeks. Whatever. Whenever we visit, we stay with Mike's parents, and every time we go, his sister is incredibly obsessed with Mike and won't leave him alone. It's to the point where it's really weird and almost like she has some kind of romantic feelings for him. I brought this up to Mike, and he says I'm being crazy, but I'm not. For example, she'll snuggle up to him on a sofa, so I have to sit somewhere else. She'll ask for him to take her shopping to places that I don't like. She'll make him take her to restaurants, and they'll have a fancy meal together. It is so weird how she treats him like a boyfriend. Oh my God. God, please, to make this woman not sound as bitter as she sounds, please tell me this child is above the age of 18, because then it'll be a little weird. But if she's a child, then man, you got problems. They have a holiday to Spain booked for the summer holiday to the town where Mike grew up. They booked this before we were dating, but it's just them two going, and it makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. I first asked him to change the booking so I can come along as well. He said he contacted the travel agents, but they said they weren't able to change the bookings anymore and that they couldn't book a separate package for me because the hotel was booked up. Yesterday I told him that it was really weird that he wants to spend 2 weeks alone with her in a foreign country, and when I said this to him, he blew up at me and kicked me out of the house. Like, genuinely kicked me out of the house for just questioning him about this, which has made me feel it's even more weird than I thought. We ended up having a huge argument, like the biggest we've ever had. And now I'm considering booking a separate hotel nearby the one they're staying at, just so I can keep an eye on her. I have been texting him and ringing him, and he hasn't answered or responded to me at all. I don't understand how he doesn't see this as weird, especially considering how obsessed she is with him, as I mentioned earlier. It just makes me sick, and I don't know what to do. How do I express to him that this is not normal? How do I show him that there is something weird about how his sister treats him? Someone asked, how old is his sister? She's 9, but will be 10 this year. Woman, you need therapy. She insists on going to shops I don't like. Like what? Toys R Us? Oh my god, this is so sad. That is insane. And I have traveled with my brother to a foreign country, and we're 6 years apart, and I'm 27. So that is not a big deal unless you make it one. That is so... You give off... I'm so sorry, but you give off only child vibes, because that is so sus. Not saying that all only childs are like this, but I feel like only child would not understand the sibling dynamic.
Here are just some things that my almond mother has said recently that made me go, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yesterday was my birthday, and my sister and my best friend and I, we were eating bagels. My mother calls, she's like, happy birthday. Like, what are you girls doing? I'm like, me, Sissy, and Maisie, we're eating bagels. She goes, oh my God, Olivia, bread is a delicacy. You should not be eating a bagel. Like, bread is a delicacy. First of all, I'm like, who the fuck told my mother that bread is a delicacy? Like, what are you talking? Like, the thing is, her being an almond mom, like, the things that she says make no fucking sense. Bread being a delicacy and like, I shouldn't eat it often. I was like, bitch, I'm telling you, I'm having a bagel for breakfast. I'm not telling you I'm slamming bagels every single day, all fucking day. I go to the same acupuncturist, and she was telling me, she was like, Dr. Smith said that bread is a delicacy and like bread should not be eaten just whenever. And I was like, oh my, bitch, it's my fucking birthday. It's my birthday. You said happy birthday. I said I'm eating a bagel, and you are going on a rampage about bread is a delicacy. I'm like, oh my gosh. But the thing is, it's like, I have to accept my almond mother for the almond mother that she is. We just like, me and Sissy just look at each other and we're like, okay, yeah, the bitch is off her rocker. Like, once again saying bread is a delicacy. She's off her fucking rocker. She actually doubled down on it when she was talking to me on the phone this morning, and she was like, you know what Dr. Smith says? Bread is a delicacy. I said, I'm not even eating bread right now. I just woke the fuck up, bitch. Why do we keep talking about bread being a delicacy? And I was like, we're drinking coffees. My mom gets very triggered about like vanilla syrup. Like, for some reason, vanilla syrup is my mom's worst fucking nightmare. Like, God forbid, the reason I have OCD and I have anxiety to my mother is because I drink vanilla oat milk latte. It's because she's just like, vanilla is causing your OCD. I'm like, no, for sure, bitch. It's not like the chemical imbalance in my brain. It's the vanilla syrup in my coffee. Like, you see what I mean? I'm like, 2 + 2 is not 10, bitch. And she's like, it's the vanilla syrup. Asked me, I was like, no, we got a coffee. She was like, please tell me there is no vanilla syrup in that coffee. She's like, the syrup's in the coffee, Olivia? You have to be fucking kidding me. I'll do the bitch. No, I'm drinking like an evaporated, no, what is it? Condensed milk latte. Like, I'm living my, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Also, fuck it being my birthday. No matter what, I'm getting a vanilla oat milk latte. Like, if vanilla, like, bitch, I can't. And she just goes on a rampage about the syrups in the coffee. I genuinely think she makes it up in her head. Because I'm like, where is the bitch getting these facts? I'm like, it's her almond brain feeding her the facts. Because, like, they don't fucking make sense. I'm like, imagine being like, Mom, I'm having a panic attack. And she was like, well, stop having vanilla in your lattes, and you're not going to have any OCD or anxiety. Bitch. If it was that fucking easy, like what? Like, I've had like coffees with no vanilla in it, okay? I still have raging OCD. They're just things that my almond mother has been saying where I'm just like, oh my God, this bitch is crazy. Love her dearly. I love her for the almond mom that she is, okay? But like, what the fuck?
Do not, and I mean do not kiss your brother's best friend, especially if you almost killed him. Let me explain. So all of my brothers play football, like they're all pretty into football, and I have seen like a lot of the injuries that they have sustained from football, and even my dad was really big into football, and there's a whole backstory on that, but just to give you some perspective, I do not like to involve myself with football play. Now, I am a very small town girl, and when my brothers come to visit, I always am like so excited because I don't get to see them a lot. So when I heard that my big brother was coming to visit our little small beach town, I was very excited to see him. I work at this restaurant, and I have this challenge that's like a dare for people who really like hot stuff. I'm like really big into peppers, which sounds weird, but like I just love how hot you can make things. So I make these dishes and I challenge people to try them. It's important information for later. I'm doing my thing. I'm cutting up these peppers. I'm like getting them shredded and ready for this dish. And everybody always tells me like, be careful where you put the peppers. And I thought that I had been careful where I put the pepper. My brother was going to meet me at the house because I was like supposed to get the guest bedroom and everything set up, but he ended up coming to the restaurant, and he walks in with his friend, and his friend is so good looking. I've seen pictures and videos of him and stuff, but in person, oh my gosh, just like so tall, so big, just so hot. I was like a little taken back. To my brother, I give him a hug. His friend sits down and they're like, ooh, what are these? And they go to eat the shreds with a chip, like the shreds of pepper with a chip. And before I smack it out of my brother's hand, but before we can get it out of his friend's hand, he eats it. I've never seen a grown man's face turn so red. Like, he literally looked like he was gonna explode. Snot was coming out of his nose, like drool was coming out of his mouth, his eyes were raw. He was like literally crying, and I felt so horrible. Poor thing, some milk. I'm like, I am so sorry. And he starts talking to me, and maybe I like start flirting with him a little bit. Also, I feel a little bad that I literally almost killed him, but also, like I said, he is hot, probably hotter than the peppers he just ate. Embarrassing. Like, how are you going to almost kill your crush, like a guy that you just met and immediately had a thing for, and then you almost kill him? Like, good job. All that aside, he is like a really nice guy. Like I said, he stays at the house. I talk to him. Like, he's not cocky, he's very nice, and I'm really like starting to get to know him, and we're spending some time together. But before anything can ever happen, like, somebody is always around interrupting it from going any further. But one night we're talking, and we're like talking about our dreams, my dreams, his dreams, like my failed attempt at a dream, and he's telling me I'm so beautiful and I'm so strong and I'm so smart, and he's just like flattering me so much, and we almost kiss. Like I said, we keep getting interrupted, so it didn't happen. And then, if you like that story and you want to know the name of the book and find out what happens next, check the caption. Bye!
My boyfriend told me that he was a doctor, but I walked in on him behind the counter at a Taco Bell. I met my boyfriend on a dating app about 3 months ago now. He said that he was a doctor and that he did his undergrad in biology at an Ivy League school. Everything was going great. Our intimate life was fantastic, and he was very romantic, although he didn't like to spend a lot of money on me. Last night, I just so happened to walk into a Taco Bell, and I saw him there working behind the counter. We looked at each other, and I just went up to the counter and ordered without even addressing him. And then I just went straight home to process what I had just seen. I tried calling him today, but he wouldn't answer for some reason. Like, I'm the one that caught you lying. I just want to know how he could lie to me like this and for this long. I mean, it's not like that's a little lie. That's a whole ass career that you're lying about. If I'm being totally honest, I'm in absolute shock. I don't know if I should just forgive him for lying and move on with the relationship or not, or should I just dump him for lying? I'm not sure I would have actually given him the chance if I knew this from the start, to be honest. But we're literally 3 months into our relationship at this point, and I'm already in love with him now. What should I do or say to him once I actually manage to get a hold of him and sit him down and talk to him? Any advice is appreciated.
All right, so we did a story like a month or two ago about, and it was titled, "Am I the asshole for deliberately misunderstanding my baby's father?"
Yes, where she put her name at the end of the baby's name.
So I got an update. So it turns out he's got deep-seated resentment for me, lol. He resents me for earning more money than him, being further in my career than he is.
Okay, cope.
Not losing my job during COVID like he did.
Well, okay. Well, cope. But sad cope.
It's sad, yeah, no, I get it. Having parents who love and support me.
Ooh, sad cope. Ooh, sad relatable cope. Oh, no, sad relatable cope. Okay.
Not being a submissive woman, lol.
That's funny.
Not having a present and loving father.
He's mad at you for that, not because he didn't have a present and loving father, but because he can't bully you about it, like other red pillars can.
Yeah.
As soon as my dad died, the amount of men that jumped at the idea to call me fatherless was really funny. Now, back then, it was I had to kill like 16 men, but like now it was a lot of work. But like now, it's really funny.
Yeah. And not combining our finances, thus making him feel small.
Well, he is, though.
Yeah, so he is.
This is the problem.
So when I last came here, I said I'd ask him to come home and discuss our future with baby, preferably in the presence of a neutral party. He left me on red for a few days, though I could see he was spying on us through the Ring doorbell and baby's monitor. I disconnected them both, and he finally responded. Melting smiley face emoji. Haven't seen that one.
Oh, I love melting. You're on the wrong side. You're not on gay TikTok if you haven't seen melting smiley face emoji.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
He came home very irate and rejected my offer to have a neutral facilitator for the conversation. I asked how we were supposed to move forward, and the rant above came out in a full mask-off moment. Any hope I had that you guys were wrong about him died that day. He again rejected the offer to hyphenate baby's surname. Apparently I'm, quote, disrespectful and, quote, insolent for refusing to, quote, do what's right and giving baby their, quote, rightful surname. I told him I won't go through the administrative nightmare of having a different surname to my child, and lots of data shows a double-barreled surname is social currency that has positive connotations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently. Nope, he wouldn't budge. I told him neither would I. Baby either has both our surnames or mine alone. He asked if this was a hill I wanted this relationship to end on, if I was prepared to throw half a decade down the drain over my, quote,
Please say yes.
silly little feminism.
Please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes. You gotta say yes.
I told him I wasn't sure there was anything left to fight for.
Okay.
We broke up. Thankfully, our, in his name, lease expires end of May. I called my dad and he came to help me back up baby. I messaged him to suggest we still need couples counseling. We need to learn to be co-parents, and they can help us establish a healthy way of doing that.
And he was like, no, I'm gonna fucking abandon my kid like my dad abandoned me. And I don't see any of the irony that I'm doing.
He again said no to that. Right. So, yeah.
Classic.
My mom wanted to take me and baby on a baby moon holiday after the stressful period, but he wouldn't grant permission for me to take the baby abroad. It's going to be a long road ahead. I've instructed a lawyer to help us set up a formal agreement to avoid this in the future. He's not responding to correspondence from the lawyer, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's sulking. He used to do this a lot when things didn't go his way. I hope he'll soon realize I no longer have time for his BS and I won't be toyed with because I called his bluff and ended the relationship. To end on a bright note, the house I wanted us to buy a couple of years ago, which he talked me out of until he was back on his feet again, despite us being able to afford it on my salary alone.
Babe, you almost had like a who the fuck did I marry ass story.
Yeah, is back on the market.
Great.
I looked at it, I took it as fate. It's time to move on from this man. It's a beautiful Victorian terrace near good schools, good transport links, a small garden, and close to my parents. It'd be a perfect home for the baby and I. I put an offer in, wish me luck.
I'm changing my judgment. You're the asshole because I'm jealous of you now.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn it.
Am I wrong for being disrespectful and telling my parents good luck with that when they tried to ground me? I live at home while going to university. I'm in my final year and I have a job lined up after I graduate. My parents have been charging me rent since I was 16. I have a small company that makes me about $60,000 a year. I started it in high school. It was one of the reasons I graduated early from high school and why I got attention from recruiters. My parents said that since I was earning adult money, I could take in adult responsibilities. I thought that was fair, so I paid for all of my stuff starting at age 16, not university. I got a scholarship, and the rent they charged me was a minor $300 a month. But I basically considered the room to be completely mine after that. I kept it tidy because I like it that way. But they had no say for when I cleaned it, for when I did my laundry, other than to not do it at a time where it would disturb my family. I bought food for myself and ate it when I wanted. They tried to say I was separating myself from the family, but I saw it more as having my own schedule. This year for spring break, I went down to Mexico with friends. My parents were upset because they were hosting a big Easter family get-together. When I got back, they said I was behaving badly for not being around for a family gathering. I said it was my last spring break in university and that I was not responsible for their schedule. They said I was grounded and I laughed and said good luck with that. I went to my room and locked the door. They tried banging on it for attention, but I'm done. My grandfather came over to talk to me. He is the one who helped me get the company started and he is always there for me. He said that I was rude to my parents when they were trying to be there for me. I asked him how much rent he charged my mom when she lived at home. He said it was ridiculous to think he would charge his kids rent. I told him that I had been paying rent for 4 years. He went into the house and I heard a fight. When he came out, he said that I need to treat my parents with more respect, but that since they are my landlords, they do not have a say over how I spend my time. I'm avoiding my parents for now, and I'm renting an Airbnb right now until I graduate. I took everything that was important to me, and I left $600 for the last 2 months I had planned on being there. They keep calling me, but I'm currently getting ready to move for a new job. I don't have the energy to deal with them. I was already on your side when they started charging you rent at 16. When your kids do well for themselves, like just because you were making a good amount of money at a young age, they felt like they needed a hand in that pot instead of being like, you know what, let me provide him with resources to excel in life even more. Let him focus on his school, let him focus on this business he's creating. Why would you charge your kid rent? I'm 27. I live with my parents and I do not pay rent. I've never paid rent. Alhamdulillah. Like, this is their home. I'm their child. Why wouldn't they want me to save money?
Story of the worst Valentine's Day gift I've ever received. So back in high school, I was dating this boy and we were madly in love, or so I thought. I got him so many nice things, including a comforter, pillows, blankets, jeans, sweatpants. Like, I don't even remember, but all I know is that I dropped a bag on him. And side note, I noticed a pattern with myself. Every single ex-boyfriend that I've ever had, I've bought them new sheets and like pillows and stuff because they were just mad crusty. But anyway, moral of the story is I got him a lot of stuff that I knew that he would like. So he had made plans for us to go out to eat that night. Actually, I did because I figured out where we were gonna go. So we get to the place and all of a sudden he starts getting spam phone calls from his brother. Mind you, on Valentine's Day, he ended up telling me that he didn't have enough money to get me a gift. Not even a card. So anyway, he answers the phone and his brother's like really upset. And his brother's like, I'm gonna pick you guys up after dinner's done. So I asked my ex-boyfriend, like, what's wrong? Why did he sound so upset? Come to find out, he left work early that day to go back to his house to surprise his wife with like chocolates, flowers, a teddy bear, all that. Just to come home and find his wife in his bed with his child home with his best friend. So then his brother picks us up, right? He opens the door and he's like, look at all this stuff that your boyfriend had me get you. Even on the card, he scribbled out his wife's name and put mine. If my ex didn't tell me what happened, I would have believed it.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife the cat is still her responsibility, even if she is pregnant? My wife, 28, and I, 36, are expecting our first baby. 3 years ago, my wife decided she desperately wanted a cat. I hate cats, and all animals in the house, really, so I was against it. She wouldn't stop talking about it, so we finally made a deal where she could get a cat, but it was her responsibility, and I would have nothing to do with it. She agreed. She stuck to her word, and I stuck to mine, and mostly ignored the cat. Now she is pregnant and asked me if I can scoop the litter until she gives birth because of the toxoplasmosis. But I looked it up, and as long as she wears gloves and washes her hands, she should be good. So I told her, absolutely not. She wasn't happy, but I reminded her of our agreement when we got the cat. I told her it was her responsibility, and if she didn't want to take care of it anymore, with the new baby coming, we can get rid of it and find it a new home. She said no and has been scooping the litter. Her sister was over, though, and saw her doing this and flipped out at me, telling me how dangerous it is. But of course, her sister is going to be on her side and overreact. I never wanted the cat, so I don't see how I'm wrong. Am I the asshole?
I think a long time ago I decided that I will not live with cats.
Really?
I do love when people have cats, it's really fun and they're like fun to play with and things like that, but I would never live with a cat. And I made that decision a long time ago.
Interesting.
I'm not into the smells. Like, it's, you know, when someone has a cat. And then also they fuck all your shit up. And I'm not into that either. I want nice things that aren't all torn and chewed up, because cats are psychos and they go nuts. I mean, they're fun to hear about. They're fun to watch videos of. They're fun to go visit. But at my house, I don't want the 3 a.m. like running all over because they pop off in the middle of the night. I'm just not into it.
I'm curious if you're going to be single tonight.
I like cats.
I just don't want to live with them.
So I'm with you. In fact, you know, but let's get back to the story.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I was going to relate it back.
All right, go ahead.
And so I would not want to live with them. So in this position, I would kind of be in the same place.
Oh, you're on his side.
Just in the sense of, like, I'm not a big fan of, oh, let's just get rid of the animal because we're too lazy to take care of it. Which, if you realize that, then do that. Rehome the animal if it's going to have a better, happier chance at, you know, a good life.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just simply like, this is where it gets messy, because they got the cat signed up for all the responsibility. Now they can't do it because of, like, you can't scoop the litter, whatever. So I don't know, because I don't think I'd take on the responsibility because I didn't want it in the first place.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this one. This is fun. I get to be on this side. I dig it. So Dad's digging this concept. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Morgan is pregnant with your baby and the cat, and she says, look,
there's no cat.
I love cats. I would totally have a cat.
Let's just hold on. Tonight you might be single, but right now you're together and she's pregnant. She's carrying your child and you want to protect your child with her. And
it's an obvious answer.
Well, what's the obvious answer?
Well, of course, then step up and do what you have to do.
The wedding would be a waste on me because there was no way I could plan a wedding as beautiful as hers. Am I the asshole for purposely booking the same wedding venue as my sister, but earlier so I can get married there first? My sister and I don't get along, obviously from the title. I can be honest and admit that she's much prettier than me, and that's something she's never let me forget. Both of my parents are pretty shallow, and they've always given her the best and put her first. An example, if we both had a school event at the same time, they both go to hers. This has left me pretty bitter and distant from my family. My boyfriend of 5 years recently proposed and I was super over the moon, and straight out of a bad rom-com script, my sister got engaged right afterwards. It didn't really faze me other than serve as a slight nuisance since my parents were more happy and involved with her engagement. My mom has been helping her plan but couldn't help me because my sister needed more help and she couldn't devote the time that I deserved. Don't feel bad for me though, because my mother-in-law is a godsend and super sweet and genuinely treats me with so much love. You know, that's how God works sometimes. When your own family isn't the best, he blesses you with another one. Anyways, what really pushed me over the edge was when my sister told me that she booked her wedding at my dream venue. I know it sounds so annoying and cheesy, but I really cared about this location. It was sentimental to me. My grandparents got married there, and I've talked about wanting to get married there as far back as high school when I was just daydreaming. Swear to God, my sister doesn't give an F about my grandparents. When I brought it up, my parents told me to stop being petty. In a fit of actual pettiness, I ended up booking the same venue a month before my sister's wedding. I checked with the venue, and there's no way my sister can move the wedding up. They're booked up. And if she changes the venue, she'll lose her deposit. My mother recently reached out to me and implored me to talk to my sister. I blocked her after the first call where she tried to ream me out. Apparently my sister's really distraught, and my mom said the least I could do was try and work something out with my sister, especially over such a huge event. I said no, but my mom said I was an asshole for not even trying to hear her out for being so stubborn and petty. I know my mom is biased, but it got me thinking because I've been pretty staunch about ignoring her calls, and some of my cousins have told me that she seems genuinely upset. I'm not sure whether or not I was right or if I'm being a giant asshole by being stubborn. I just want to add that I'm wondering if I'm being an asshole for ignoring my sister, not really for booking the venue. My sister flat out told my cousin that she couldn't care less about the venue and booked it because it was convenient. But suddenly when I want to get married there too, it means the world to her. I think not. My grandparents practically raised me since my parents were always missing out on my life events, so it was my grandma and grandpa who came to support me. I was always going to get married there one way or another. Okay, so there's an update. Let's see if she talked to her sister. I appreciate everyone who took the time to comment. Both the positive and negative comments opened my eyes. I talked it over with my fiance, and he basically said, "You are literally never happy when you talk about your family. Why do you keep putting yourself through that?" So I decided to try talking to them one last time before going no contact, just so I wouldn't have any regrets. Most of you could probably guess what happened. My sister said that if I got married at the same venue as her, I'd steal her thunder, and that I was selfish for making my own wedding all about me. I countered with the fact that I've been talking about getting married there for over a decade, so why would she think I wouldn't get married there too? Only for my sister to reply that the wedding would be a waste on me because there was no way I could plan a wedding as beautiful as hers. Yo, I'm sorry, your sister's a complete bitch. Like, what the F? The final straw was when my parents offered to pay for my entire wedding if I moved it. Yo, dude, why? Oh my god, your parents are assholes too. That's so fucked up. Like, my parents who couldn't be bothered to show up to my engagement party because my sister planned hers for the next day and they need time to help her prep, suddenly wanted to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to make my sister happy. I think that kind of broke me. Long story short, I told them that effective immediately, I was done being their punching bag and that they were no longer welcome at my wedding or in my life. They tried to play the symphony card on social media, crying about how it divided the family, but my grandparents really came to bat for me. They basically made their own post shading my mom, their daughter, saying that they were so thrilled to see their granddaughter, who they raised, get married at their venue, and that my grandpa would be walking me down the aisle. Wow, good for you for having such good grandparents. I'm glad they are able to see through the bullshit that their daughter is putting you through. That pretty much shut up most of my extended family. My cousin also let me know that my sister gave up her deposit in favor of changing the venue, which made me feel like it was proof that was never about the venue and just about taking something that mattered to me. I wouldn't have cared if we married at the same place though. I feel like I made the right decision because I've just felt so much lighter since. My fiance is also happy that I'm happy. Yay! I'm so happy! I'm just sad that you had to go through that kind of stuff. Like, what the F? Ah!
Am I the asshole for refusing to go to my mother's church, even though they got me a graduation gift? A fair warning, I have nothing against religion or having a relationship with God. I have a best friend who's Christian and we get along super great, but the difference between what her and my mother believe is huge.
Yeah, I get that.
Long story short, my mother drugged me to church from the time I was born until when I turned 18 and decided that I wasn't going to go there. I decided I wasn't going to go there.
So we have true go to church every week. Okay,
yeah,
I understood.
No, I feel that. My mom was like, go to church every week until I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And yeah. I have a bit of religious trauma from my mother, and I've talked to her about the multiple reasons I don't want to attend church at her church. Jumping to recently now, she told me about a week ago that church wanted to get me a gift for graduation. I told her something along the lines of, well, that's nice of them, but I don't need anything and I won't be going to that church. She acted like she has no recollection of me telling her all the reasons throughout the years of why I won't go to that church.
Yeah.
She texted me this morning and is trying to convince me to come even though I have told her multiple times I won't come back. She texted me, "The church will have your graduation gift for you today. Could you come to church at 11 to receive it? It would make us all happy." And I told her, "I told you I will not go." She hasn't responded yet, but I'll update if something more comes from this. So am I the asshole? What do you think? Thinking emoji. Of course, there is way more that I could have prefaced the story with, but then the post would be a novel, so I'm just trying to stick with a little context and the basics of what happened recently. I definitely don't fit in at her church and haven't felt safe or welcomed in a decade.
Oh, okay. I knew this was kind of where it was going because I know a lot of churches, some churches can be like this, but yeah.
So yeah, am I the asshole for refusing to go to receive a college graduation gift from the old church I haven't been to a service in around 5 years? Again, I'm not going, so don't worry about me going. I'm not. And some people are like, not the asshole. Someone said the graduation gift is your baptism. Surprise!
Will I be the asshole for breaking up with my fiance because he wants to have an open marriage? He's saying that he wants to catch up to me and sleep with a bunch of new women, which is like the main reason that he wants to have an open marriage. The idea of it absolutely turns me off like 100% because I see marriage as committing to one person, and I'm pretty sure that's like the normal thing. But this is the kicker. He wants it opened on his end, but closed for me. So I wouldn't be able to be with anybody else, but he's allowed to sleep with literally whoever he wants. And I don't understand how that makes sense. To me, this makes it like 100 times worse because what am I getting out of this agreement exactly? What? According to him, I'm not allowed to because of my past. And I mean, to be honest, I don't really think that's a fair trade-off. At this point, I'm just considering ending things as a whole. So, am I the asshole for wanting to break up with my fiance because he wants to have an open marriage?
Lilac is a good sister to him, but as a person, truthfully, I can't stand her. Am I the asshole for accidentally telling my fiance I hate his sister and she won't be a part of my wedding? First of all, I don't like that statement because it's not just your wedding, it's your husband's wedding too, and that's his sister, unless she's done something really bad for you, but like, get this bitch out. This situation is literally ridiculous, but this whole thing has caused almost nuclear warfare across the family, so I'm here to get a consensus. I, 26 female, have been with my fiance Chris, 26 male, for 4 years now. He and his sister, 21 female Lilac, are very close. They had a pretty traumatic childhood and always promised each other to be there no matter what. Lilac is a good sister to him, but as a person, truthfully, I can't stand her. She is literally the textbook definition of a bubbly blonde. She's overly charismatic, always giggling, and in general just acts too immature for my taste. She likes to pull pranks every once in a while on my fiance, and he gets her back, but the whole ordeal just seems childish and obnoxious to me. Okay, you sound like an only child, because that's what siblings do. Okay, first of all, she's 21. She's gonna be a little mature. She's not that old. 2, doesn't matter how old you are. Whenever I see my siblings, that's what siblings do. We just go back to being kids. We're gonna act immature just as how we are. You're only seeing her in a setting when she's with her brother. That's her older brother. Sibling relationships are different. Like, oh my god. Like, so she hasn't done anything to you. You're just being a bitch. You literally just said she hasn't done. It's just her personality you don't like. So she's not gonna be in your wedding party. Like, suck it up, grow up. Talk about immaturity. Look at yourself. Mira! Ever since we got engaged, I knew I didn't want her in my wedding party because that means I'd have to spend time with her at my bachelorette and other parties. Fast forward to last night, and my fiance asked me when I plan on asking Lilac to be a bridesmaid. I got quiet and truthfully said I didn't plan on doing so. This upset him because he said he wants his sister to be a part of the most important day of his life and that if I didn't do it, he was going to make her a groomswoman to make sure she's included. I can't lie, this set me off. I went off about how I want to feel respected by him and to be able to enjoy my wedding day. He said he also wants to enjoy his day, which to be fair, I understand. This is where I may be the asshole. I told him that I have always disliked his sister and wish he would just not include her for once on a day that isn't even about her. He got quiet and went into our guest room to be alone. A couple of minutes later, I got a text from Lilac that she completely respects my decision to not want her in the wedding party, but she's hurt to know what I actually feel about her. I didn't want her to find out at all, and now he's told his whole family about our argument. Half of them are attacking me, and half of them are saying it's my day, so I should be able to enjoy it. Honestly, this whole ordeal is stressful for no reason because Lilac isn't even upset I don't want her in my wedding party, yet the whole family is upset and my fiance has been very short with me all day. So, am I the asshole? You are literally hating on this little girl for nothing. She's 21. Oh my god.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she needs to buy her own airplane ticket? I booked a 2-week vacation to Europe about 17 months ago, including flights and lodging. And my new girlfriend of 5 months said she wants to come with me. I said that I would really love that, but she'd have to pay for her own flight. I said that I could include her in my hotel accommodations and would pay for food, tours, and attractions. However, she said that she can't afford the flight, which costs $700 since she's booking last minute. So she asked me if I could buy her plane ticket, and I said I didn't budget for another plane ticket and that I thought it was already fair for me to pay for other things. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she needs to buy her own plane ticket? I said I thought it was fair for me already to buy other things for the trip for us. She said that she really wanted to go on the vacation with me and this could be her early anniversary or birthday gift. I said that another plane ticket was not in my budget and she said I make more money than her and I should be able to afford it. And that I just don't want to take her. I said I would love for her to come, but I just can't do it and have other financial obligations. So she either needs to buy her own ticket or I'll just see her when I come back home. She said I'm being selfish and we're supposed to be a partnership and hopefully I'll still be here when you get back.
Am I the asshole for telling my dad he's not allowed to give his speech at my wedding? My fiance and I, both in our 20s, are getting married in a month, and there's a dispute with my dad now. He claims that I'm being unfair, but I wanted to get some outside opinions on it. So my dad decided that he was going to give a speech at the wedding without saying anything to me first. He shared the contents of said speech with his sister, my aunt. She knew the speech wouldn't sit well with me and mentioned his plan to me. So in this speech he already wrote, he talks a lot about how his wife is the love of his life, how amazing she is. It's very similar to the speech he gave at their vow renewal 10 years ago. Wait, this speech is at your wedding, correct? Why the fuck is he gonna give an updated vow renewal at someone else's wedding? No, you're not the asshole. I knew you weren't the asshole from the beginning, but no, you're not the asshole because I don't want you to stand up at my wedding and talk about some other woman. No, hell no. My dad hasn't shied away from expressing in front of me and to me that he's never loved anyone like he loved his wife, how all his past relationships pale in comparison. And that includes my mom, who was his first wife. She left him widowed with an 8-year-old son at the time. To make it even more difficult to hear, the vow renewal was held on my 18th birthday. Bro, your dad sucks. Your dad fucking sucks. I got to celebrate my birthday by hearing my dad talking about how much my mom meant nothing because his second wife was so much better. Wow, are you kidding me? They had been married 8 years at the time, but a lot of my family and friends didn't attend their actual wedding, so they decided they would basically have a second one to celebrate, and then decided my birthday was the perfect time to do this. Anyways, the speech he wrote for my wedding had a lot of this content from what my aunt heard from my dad and what she read herself. She knew on my wedding day the last thing I needed to hear was how much he adores his wife when he does so in a way that basically said my mom meant nothing to him. I told him that I knew about the speech and he didn't have permission to give it at my wedding. My dad asked why not, and I told him that I didn't want him to use my wedding to praise his wife. Period. This is not about you guys. This wedding day is not about you guys. If you feel so strongly and you feel like you need to go through this shit again and praise your wife, organize your own fucking party. You don't get to use my wedding as an excuse to praise your fucking wife. Absolutely not. My dad said his wife means the world to us, so why would I say that? I told him she means the world to him, but she pales in comparison to my mom, who meant the world to me and still does. I told him that he might have decided my mom meant nothing, but that doesn't mean I shared his feelings. He accused me of being sensitive and then said it seemed like I didn't care about his wife at all. And then he said she was a good mom to me for the 8 years that she raised me. What the fuck? So that means I have to pretend like my mother doesn't exist and she is the almighty mother in the room? No, just because you worship the ground that she walks on doesn't mean that everyone else has to. Sir, get the fuck over yourself and your goddamn wife. She ain't nobody fucking special. She ain't the first bitch to become a stepmom in the world. Get out of here. I told my dad she was never anything more than his wife, that my mom died when I was 8 and I didn't get a new one. The last thing I needed to hear is how little my mom meant on my wedding day. My dad told me to be reasonable, and the parents of the bride and groom typically say something. I told him nothing he had to say had a place at my wedding, that this is mine and my fiance's wedding, not his. I told him to get married again if all he wants to do is praise his wife, but it was not happening at my wedding. He told me to stop acting like a little boy and grow up. I left. Then his wife called crying about the fight that my dad and I had, which led to my dad calling me again and telling me to grow up again. Am I the asshole? Absolutely not. Your dad and his wife fucking suck. They fucking suck. They think that your events are the perfect time to express how much they love each other when they have absolutely nothing to do with them. You're not fucking wrong, because who the fuck wants their dad to get up at their wedding and make a speech? The speech is supposed to be about you and your fucking bride. That's what the speech is supposed to be about. But no, he decides, I'm going to get up and I'm going to express how much I love my wife. I'm going to worship my wife right here in front of all these fucking people, half of which probably don't even fucking know her. I'm going to stand up here and talk about how much I love my goddamn wife at an event that has nothing to do with her. Nobody would be okay with that. No one would stand for that shit. Your dad and his wife fucking suck. At first, I thought it was a possibility that the wife did not know that the dad was planning to do this, and this is why she was so upset between dad and son getting into a fight. No, I did my own little investigating. I went to the comment section. OP stated that she called him crying because he doesn't want it to happen. So she fucking knows. She sucks just as much as his fucking dad does. OP, no. You're not the asshole, baby. Absolutely not. And if they cannot understand that this wedding has nothing to do with them, that this is about you and your fiance, they don't deserve to be there. Point blank fucking period. If he's not going to listen and abide by your boundaries, he doesn't get to be a part of your special day. That's it. That's all.
Am I the asshole for locking the door to prevent my husband from getting involved in my job interview? I, 33 female and unemployed, but God knows I have been looking for jobs. I'm a sales rep for well over 5 months. My husband has a high-paying job. First, he suggested that I leave my career as a sales rep behind, not up to his wealthy family standards. They'd mock me for it a lot, and stay home, but I refused because I love my job and want to grow in it. He suggested he finds me a better job since he has a lot of connections, but that's not in my field. I've had several job interviews, and my husband has ruined all of them for me, and here's how. He'd walk into the room whenever I'm having a potential job interview, and he'd introduce himself and take over the conversation with the interviewer. He'd tell them about how good I am, but slip up in some bad stuff that eventually cost me the job. He's sabotaging you, let's get it straight. He does not want you to be working. Wait, hold up. Before all that, he walks into her interviews. Like, who does he think he is? God forbid if you had ever done that to him, he would have been pissed. So why does he think he can do that to you, let alone anyone? Like, no one should be in there when you're interviewing. His argument was that he's just making recommendations since he has connections and influence, but I told him to stop and let me handle it. He sulked, saying he was just trying to guide me and whatnot. Several days ago, I'd gotten a job interview, and after getting inside the room and before the interview started, I locked the door. My husband tried to come in and started knocking on the door, asking why I was locking the door and telling me to let him in. I put my headphones on and used noise canceling, but he kept knocking, telling me to open the door. After the interview was over, I unlocked the door and walked out. He went off on me, calling me disrespectful and awful to lock him out like that. I said I was sorry, I wanted to work with this company so badly and I couldn't let him ruin it for me. He got offended and said that I was being petty and childish and also ungrateful because of the stunt I pulled, and said that he was just trying to help me get the best deal out there. I said I'm not a child, and he said yes I was, especially with how I behaved and for excluding him from my interview. Oh my god, forget about this interview, woman. This guy has control issues. If he's doing this just over your job, imagine you later down in life when you want to make other decisions. This is just screaming obsessive, screaming red flags, screaming get out of here, screaming this guy thinks he's an alpha male and listens to a lot of podcasts about male domination and shit like that. Get out of there.
Tinder horror story. Let's go. So I matched with this guy on Tinder like a few months ago, right? And we were texting, we had a vibe, like everything was cool. And then I just went through this period of time where I just didn't want to speak to anybody. Like, I just closed myself off and I blocked my whole entire roster. That sounds so bad, but like, you know, it is what it is. But then I decided, you know what, like, let me build up this roster again. I'm lonely, like, whatever. So I re-download Tinder, and then lo and behold, this dude's on Tinder still. And we match, and then he's like, oh, you know, like, I was just waiting for you to come back on Tinder. That's why I'm still here. I was like, yeah, totally. So anyway, fast forward, he asked me to go on a date with him to the movies. And I was bored and I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever. And usually I would meet up with people, but for some reason, this time in particular, I was like, you know what? I deserve to be picked up and like, you know, like I shouldn't have to drive. And in hindsight, that was so stupid. I don't even know why I did that. But anyway, he pulls up on me and I literally had to do a double take. Like he looked nothing like his pictures. Like I don't know if this is mean, but he easily gained like 50 pounds between like the pictures and now. And in his profile, it said he was 5'9", and when we get out of the car, he was literally shorter than me and I'm 5'6". And I was gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and like try to get to know his personality, but he was one of those guys that was like, no, I'm gonna drink beers with the boys. Like, I don't know. So after the 3-hour movie, he takes me home and we're sitting in his car and he's like gazing in my eyes and he's like, so am I gonna see you again? I was like, I don't know. And he's like, I better. Then I left and blocked him.